Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide, new studio edition. And the video that we're going to be covering today is the unboxing of the Kobo Elipsa 2E. Before I start with that one, full disclosure, this device has been sent to me by Kobo, but that's just a review sample unit, so it's not something that they have any say over how the review is conducted or anything like that. Also, I wanted to mention that if you do like the work that I do, I then encourage you to go to mydeepguide.com/shop and check out the My Daily Organizer that is available there. From July 1st, it's going to be discounted by 30%. And I wanted to let you know that just because July 1st is just around the corner, so that if you're thinking about purchasing MDO, then it's a good idea to wait just a couple of days longer. Or if you do want to support the channel and pay the full price right now, well, then that's your prerogative as well. What is MDO? Well, it is a hyperlinked PDF file that covers all of your yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily organizing and diary needs, whether it is for your personal life or for your professional life. It works on multitude devices and multitude of platforms, and also comes in different formats and variants. You can check out the MDO playlist on the My Deep Guide YouTube, where you have multitude of video files that are really useful and can help you get the best out of MDO as soon as you go through them. So you can go check it out and see if MDO is the product for you or not, but either way, your support is greatly appreciated, and it helps the independence of My Deep Guide as a channel. And now let's unbox the Kobo Elipsa 2E. Alright, so here is the package that I have received and that Kobo has kindly sent to me as a review loan device. So it is the new Kobo Elipsa 2E, and the E nomenclature we've already seen. I believe it was Clara. It is eco because the e-reader made with recycled plastics, so that's kind of nice to see. And the other thing that I'm already very excited is that the Kobo Elipsa 2E sleep cover is, at least from what I can see here, at least in the packaging, it seems to be quite a bit smaller and a more normal kind of sleep cover attire than what we had with the original Kobo Elipsa. So first, of course, let's focus on the device itself, and then we'll unbox that, check out how the whole thing looks like, and do the first impressions. So this one that I received has already been opened. I guess it's an early device and updated to the latest update so that we can see, and it's empty. Of course it is. All right, fine. Let's just, at this moment, let's just see what we get in the packaging and what the packaging looks like, and then I'm gonna give it a little bit of a charge and continue recording so that we can actually see what we get. So in the packaging, you get the device, we get the pen. However, the one that I received, I'm not sure that's supposed to go that way, which is kind of a shame because the pen looks like it's a lot better than the previous one, but this is yeah, that's not gonna be representative. I really hope we get proper pens here, pen nibs, so let's see. And yes, we do. We get 2 replacement nibs, so that's good. I'll be able to replace the nib and have a proper user experience. A USB cable and a quick start guide with legal mumbo jumbo stuff. And it looks like it's a fairly friendly, easy attire here to kind of get the user started. So the standard packaging is the device, USB-C cable, pen, 2 replacement nibs for the pen, and a quick start guide and the warranty information. So all pretty standard packaging here. Let's unbox immediately the cover as well so that we can see how that looks like, so then I can actually put this one to charge and then come back to it to continue filming so that we can do the first power up and first impressions. Okay, this one doesn't look like it has been opened before, so that's good. Let's see what do we get inside? By the way, I've already replaced the nib. It was not a problem to replace it. Obviously, this kind of pen fell at some point, and it's not perfectly straight. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. So this is the new replacement nib. So I think that the mechanism in this pen bent a tiny bit after that fall, but when I actually took it out, the replacement nib, the one that I took, the metal was fully bent and really not in a good state. So I don't know what happened there, but this is how you replace the nib. And now back to the cover, and let's see the dimensions and the weight of it, because I'm very curious about that. So let's see what we get. Okay, all right, so this is faux leather, and okay, is this a one-piece thing? So this is a one-piece cover. Oh, smart, cool. So basically your device slips into here, your pen is there, and then this just covers the device from the front. Well, that's kind of neat. That's an interesting way of approaching it. That's the whole thing. So let's try it out and see how that works. So the instructions say, let's see which side. We take the narrow side goes in, and Kobo is on the opposite side, and it should be a magnetic lock. Okay, let's see. So we take the narrow side into here. It snaps into place very nicely, and this kind of closes down. And then in the back you have this okay, well, they can't all be winners. It's certainly an original approach, and I like that it does that, but first of all, it doesn't, oh, you have to manually, no, this doesn't fit. Nope, this doesn't fit perfectly. It's close, but you have this edge here when it's perfectly aligned over here, right? And then if I make this one align, because it can slide a little bit, and then this line is kind of protruding when this one is being okay. So close, but not really there. And this is a magnetic holder for the pen as well. Let's see if the cover flap is held magnetically. Yes, it is. So overall, I think that it looks quite nice. And when you actually use it, how does it flip around? How does that work? Yes, it magnetically, magnetically attaches to the back, I believe here. And then it's a nice kind of a whole package, I believe. So I can see the remnants of the original bucket design that they've had. So they are kind of maintaining that idea of you unflap it, and then you have a work area where you can easily get your pen, start working on it, go back to it, go back to it, and once you're done, you flip it over, and that's that. And I guess if you want to read, you can simply take it out, do the reading that way, and then easily snap it back into the position and have it there. I think that this is a major improvement to the overall design. It's very original. I wouldn't say that it's perfect, but it certainly is a huge improvement over the overall packaging state and the overall state of the device when it uses a protective cover than what we had with the original Kobo Elipsa. So this already is a huge step forward. So let's also check the physical aspects of the Kobo Elipsa before I start charging it, so that we can see what's it like and first impressions of that. So right out gate, it looks very similar. It's unmistakable that this is a Kobo Elipsa. We have the Kobo logo here, very wide reach area here, black on front, black screen here, all of the legal mumble jumbo and the product name and everything is on to the side, as is the power button, which is now ridged, which is actually quite nice because you can just easily feel where the power button is without the need to look for it, which is most definitely an improvement as well. We got a USB-C power on the side, nothing on the top, nothing on the side. The side is no longer as thin as it was on the Kobo Elipsa. It's definitely thinner, but it doesn't thin out as much as the Kobo Elipsa did. I think that maybe it's overall thinner. I'll have to check the specifications, but yeah, the remnants of the design are there, but it's not as thin as it was, or the impression, my impression at least, is that. And nothing on the bottom as well. So it's a very clean design, and of course a screen that is flush. So we have a rough paper-like screen protector area on top with actually really good reflectivity. These are super strong box lights. This is a light box and it's just having super strong lights here, but I mean, you can see the watch, for example, reflecting really strong lights there, and this just dims them down and dulls them nicely. Here on the back we have Rakuten Kobo embossed in the back, and then you have this nice modern looking kind of digital streaks, lines also embossed into the back, and the quality of the plastic is nice and soft. It is not scratchy, it doesn't feel cheap at all, and that is a really good thing, especially because it's made out of recycled plastics. So normally when you read like recycled plastics, that reads like super cheap feel and things like that. Not true here. It definitely does not feel like cheap plastic, and that is a good thing to have. Weight wise, I think the distribution of weight is good. I think battery is somewhere around here because you feel a little bit more battery weight there, but it's quite easy to handle in the hand, and the manufacturing quality I think is really good, as it's usual. Normally it's like that with Kobo devices, and it's true of the Kobo Elipsa 2E, which means edges are nicely rounded off. They are thick enough so that nothing actually bothers you when you hold them by the edge. And even though it is not a metal device, which is something that some people will not like, I actually like this, especially because it's recycled plastic and manufactured at the quality where it is. This basically just feels like a very good device, and something that fits the price range that it is advertised for. All right, so I got this one and the pen charged. The pen is fully charged. This one's charged a little bit. Good enough for first impressions and the first power up. So let's power it on, and immediately, again, it's a big design improvement. The power on button, the way it actually protrudes a little bit to the side, is so much more satisfying and much more direct communication back if you have pressed it, how you have pressed it. That was not the case on the Elipsa, original Elipsa. So let's choose English. Welcome to Kobo. Setup over Wi-Fi. All right, let's do initial setup here. All right, so I went through the activation of the device. I used my phone and a QR code. You just log in, and if you already have a Kobo account, and then it's automatically registered. Now it's saying power up, so at least connect it to a USB power outlet for at least 5 seconds. Test scribbling anywhere on the screen. Okay, so it's basically you just touch it and then it works. And here we are. So now it's loading up my library and my books, which is a good thing to see. What about notebooks? Are you able to synchronize what I've had from my old Kobo Elipsa and the Kobo Sage? maybe it'll take time because I think he's still synchronizing here. As you can see, the icon is moving around and it's doing its thing. So, oh, it's flipping around. All right, so now it says that it's fully synchronized. But, and yeah, this does seem correct, but there are no notebooks. So are they actually not synchronizing notebooks? Is that a real thing? Yeah. All right. Well, that's either me not doing something correct, or if that is the case, then that's not a good thing, because you would expect to be able to share your notebooks in your environment as you are able to share your library, to share your notebooks and library between your, let's say, for example, portable Kobo Sage and the Kobo Elipsa 2e. Overall performance and how the device actually performs, I think it performs a little bit more snappier than the Elipsa. Definitely feels more snappier than the Elipsa, the original Elipsa. So let's see here. Start reading. Yes, these are general instructions. You can highlight and erase with Kobo stylus shortcuts. So hold down the button near the stylus. So that's the button right here, which is nicely indented, discreetly kind of bulging out, so you can easily feel it where it is. So you can hold down the button to quickly switch to highlighter mode, and the button towards the back, this one here, to erase. All right, look up a word, reignite, auto sync, and done. So I should be able to just scribble, which is again already right from the get-go, this is much better than what Kindle Scribe has, because Kindle Scribe doesn't have this. It has those post-its, or maybe they've added an update that finally can do this, but this is definitely working out of the box. Now, the responsiveness is not super fast. It's actually on the slower side. I can see the lag, like from here. So it is laggy, and the precision of what you're actually writing is not that great. It could be a bit more precise. All right, so let's see what does the highlighter do. So the highlighter button, yep, you can just whoosh, very nice for highlighting. This is what it's intended to be used for. So you can just do like this, and can you easily just erase them? No, you cannot. How can you get rid of it? You can remove highlight and remove highlight. All right, so overall performance as a reader, let's put this pen back here. I think it's pretty normal. Like, let's see, going back to a page, flipping between pages, that's nice. We can go here. Yep, flipping through pages. Now this one is supposed to be marked with a lot of things, but I can't. What was it? Would it be there? Yeah, so all of my annotations are here, which is great to see. Have they added an option to export? No, they have not. That still sucks. But all right, so that's thing. And formatting. Let's see how quick the device is to change formatting. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't care. It's just doing things properly. Line spacing, like this, like that. Very nice. Slower margins. Lower margins, narrower. All right, so you can switch between these things. Extremely responsive reader, which is something that I would expect it to, but my general impression is that Elipsa 2E feels like it is faster and more responsive than the Elipsa, because Elipsa was not that much of a responsive and fast device. All right, now let's get on to first impressions of the writing and the notebooks. So just a reminder again, if you're not checking the title of the video, which is saying unboxing and first impressions of the Kobo Elipsa, not an in-depth review. I won't be going into in-depth functionalities of all of these things. I'm just going to be doing first impressions, and then I can test it and bring you the in-depth review at a later date. So that's what we're going to be doing this now with the notebooks. All right, let's go through the whole process and see how it looks when you're creating a new notebook. You can still create a new notebook, an advanced notebook, which can convert handwriting into type and supports adding free-form sections, diagrams, and equations. Basic notebook doesn't have the option to handwrite conversion. I think it's just allows you to write anywhere, as the advanced notebook has those predefined lines because it's based on MyScript and has super advanced functionalities which are absolutely excellent, but it also has to confine your writing into areas that the system can actually read and recognize. And you can create your folders. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder which is going to be called test notebooks, and very good precision of the keyboard and responsiveness of the device. I can easily get what I'm looking for here. A little bit on the sluggish side for creating a new notebook. You still have to wait a little bit. So let's try and do a basic notebook. Basic test 1. Excellent responsiveness still, which is good to see. So we can swipe to turn pages. We can highlight and erase with the Kobo style shortcuts. So your button for highlighting, erasing there. Too bad that you can't actually, I don't know, well, check out if you can program the button to be the eraser so that you don't have to flip the pen around. And you have the adjust thickness and shading, and try different pen types from ballpoint to calligraphy, switch between object eraser to erase entire strokes, or brush eraser, undo, redo, change the page background as in templates, export your notebook, and more. Hide the menu. All right, so very clean and concise kind of user interface. You also have the selection set there, and we have the brightness operation here. Now the cool thing is that we have this is like super bright conditions, so you won't be able to see anything like this, but the main difference, maybe you notice a little bit here, but the big thing is, actually let me just turn off the light so you can see. All right, so you can actually see that one of the major things that Kobo Elipsa did not have was dual color front light. This is no longer the case, and we do have a dual color front light on the Kobo Elipsa 2E, and I'm happy to report that it looks really good. It looks and lives up to the Kobo standard, and Kobo front lights are one of the most comfortable ones that I normally use, and yeah, this is certainly the case with the Kobo Elipsa 2E as well. The responsiveness is quite good, so you can adjust in a nice way. So that is a really big advantage right out of the gate on the Kobo Elipsa 2E versus the Kobo Elipsa 1. All right, get yourself together. You're not doing a review. You must focus on simpler things. So simpler things such as basic writing, and let's see how does it perform. So let's zoom in and do a first writing test on the Kobo Elipsa 2E. Well, yeah, it's not the best. And whenever you have an active pen, no matter what they do, you have that profound sense of disconnect between what your hand is doing and what the device is actually interpreting and doing, because it's fundamentally different feel between an active pen and an EMR pen. And I'm sad to see that they are not using a Wacom layer here, and that we cannot use a EMR pen, because make no mistake, this is a much better pen than the one that we had on the Kobo Elipsa 1 and on Sage. It's much nicer shape, it has good functionalities, and it feels good in the hand, and even the tip is actually feeling okay, but it is nowhere near the category of the EMR pens that you have on the Super Notebooks, Remarkable, and all of the other devices. That being said, the closest thing that I should be comparing it objectively to is actually the Huawei MatePad Paper. And even there, MatePad Paper feels and writes a lot better than this one does. That being said, this is a big improvement over the writing on the Kobo Elipsa 1, which was really not its weakest point. Absolutely, its weakest point was the writing capabilities. So the pen has been improved. Unfortunately, the interpretation of that input by the device itself, the software handling this, is not doing a good job. And this is not my handwriting, if you can understand what I'm saying. This is an interpretation of the device that is interpreting my input and kind of drawing something that looks sort of like what I've been writing, but not really. So it's just a close approximation. It's not such a close, actually. It's just an approximation of what I'm writing, but the details, it lacks so much details. It's just smoothing things out and optimizing things in a way that it's way too strong, and it loses character to such a degree that I feel completely disconnected from what I see on the screen after I have written it, and it is no longer, even though I have done the gestures, the thing that I see on the screen is not what I am doing. It's just an approximation, and it's not a good approximation at that. I will probably need to do a recalibration of the pen, because there is a very distinct disconnect between the pen and the line that is being drawn. You can probably see it here. Actually, no, you should be able to see it much more. Yeah, see that? That's not really precise. That's very off. So hopefully a calibration will help that, and hopefully calibration will help with the precision of tracking of what I'm writing. But the overall kind of feel is not that good. It's not pleasant, and unfortunately it hasn't really been improved a lot. The speed seems to have been improved quite a bit, so that's also going to be something that I'll be testing with the Desta test, and then to kind of see how that functions. But as I said, first impressions, read the title of the video. The pen has been improved, absolutely, no question about it. It's really good to see dual front line, absolutely excellent improvement to see, but the writing feel, not the best, and it's a shame because the surface, the writing surface on the Kobo Elipsa is fantastic, and the reflective capabilities are also fantastic. So it's like the device itself has so much potential and it could be a fantastic writing device, but it seems to have been held back yet again, second iteration that has been held back by the use of the active pen, which inherently dictates a different type of approach of interpreting that input, and then as a result you get that disconnect, lagginess, and all the stuff that is far superior on the EMR and when a device that's a Wacom enabled device, basically. Image quality is very nice on the Kobo Elipsa. It was excellent on Kobo Elipsa 1, it's excellent on Kobo Elipsa 2 as well, and I guess that is their priority. Maybe the focus was on the image quality and they just simply didn't want to have the added Wacom layer and everything that comes with that, even though it shouldn't really affect things that much. Very sharp. Really sharp and precise. Crystal sharp, even with super thin lines and everything. It just looks very nice and easy to read. Something that I do like quite a lot. Now, yeah, as far as the performance goes, yep, by the time I'm done with switching my orientation, the device is ready and it has auto-oriented, so I can just simply read. So I'm waiting for my gesture to complete, not for the device to actually follow through with my gesture. The ergonomics are extremely comfortable for a larger device like this. It is definitely a larger device, but I don't have a big problem actually handling it with one hand. The weight a little bit, so it is a little bit of a weightier device, but it's definitely manageable by most. However, I don't think that this is a device that's meant to be used like a single hand and things like that, but you do get like this wonderful real estate, and now it is coupled with a dual front light as well, which is definitely a big plus. So definitely some improvements on a Kobo Elipsa 2e that are worth keeping an eye out. So, first impressions of the Kobo Elipsa 2e. Well, as I've already mentioned, I think some things have been definitely improved, and it's really nice to see that that there's a 10.3-inch Kobo e-reader that is equipped with a dual front light of the quality that Kobo devices normally have. So that's a huge plus to see. Second thing is also that this pen has also been improved, and it's very nice to see something like that. However, as I already mentioned, it's an active pen, and the writing capabilities, which was the Achilles heel of the original Elipsa, that unfortunately has not been improved on the Elipsa 2e. It still feels quite disconnected and quite, not so much sluggish, but very imprecise, and it doesn't feel connected. You do not feel connected when writing on it, which is a shame because so many things have been improved on the device, and the original Kobo Elipsa also had fantastic paper-like surface on the screen, excellent reflectivity, like all of the elements that you would need for an excellent handwriting device with exceptionally good capabilities with the advanced notebook. But we see the same problem here, that the potential of the device is not being utilized to its maximum because of the decision to use that active pen and not simply go with an EMR pen, which always gives drastically and dramatically better results than any of the active pens that I've ever tried. That being said, I do like that this new approach of the cover. I think that it's fairly original, minimalistic, and it's really interesting to see the same kind of mentality behind it, of it kind of storing your pen and everything else and kind of working well in tandem with that. So those things I do like, and I think that it kind of works. Definitely the thickness, the weight, and all of the things that were ridiculous with the I don't know, bucket dog cover that was released with the Kobo Elipsa 1, which was ridiculous. This is no longer the case. This is actually portable, it protects your device, it's usable, and it's practical. So another point that has been massively improved. So I don't know, I'm gonna be testing this now, battery life, writing latency, and giving it a fair due and spending a lot of time with it. I'm not looking forward to the writing tests on this one because they were painful and not really that much fun. And when I say painful, I really do mean painful. Your hand hurts when you write for like an hour on this device, and that's something that I have to do when I'm testing the battery life on these devices. So I'm not looking forward to that because the initial writing tests were not fun, but hey ho, we need complete results for this one as well. So that's something that's I'm gonna have to be doing. But we'll see combined, how does Kobo Elipsa 2e now perform? Because maybe it's not a dedicated writer device, maybe it's supposed to be a 10.3-inch reader, Kobo reader device that has pen capabilities with which you can also write. So that might be the most fair way to approach this one, but then again, it does have that advanced notebook capabilities here, and yeah, if you have that, then you have to test it and you have to actually measure it also to get a balanced view of what the device actually is. So those are my first impressions of the Kobo Elipsa 2e. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think? Do you have already your Kobo Elipsa 2e? Because this is now quite delayed, and it's been a while since Kobo Elipsa 2e has been out, but because of the move and establishing of all the new stuff, the new studio and everything else, I was delayed with my video, so now I'm catching up. So it's going to be interesting to hear in the comments down below what your opinion is, what your impression is, what your experience is, and if there's somebody who already has a Kobo Elipsa 2e, and maybe if you've already had Kobo Elipsa as well, what are your impressions? Because that also helps not only the developers, but it also helps me understand the multitude of perspectives that users have when using and purchasing these devices. I hope that you found the video interesting and useful. If you did, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!